What's good, JLab Nation? Um, well, kind of here by myself tonight. Miguel was here, but he had to go home. Doing kind of sick at the moment. And as for the rest of the squad, they kind of preoccupied. But today's a Sunday, and well, I gonna have fun in this video. So, in a previous video, I did who is, what is it, and is it true? In this video, I'm going to be doing something similar. I'm going to be doing who, how, what, and when. So I have a bowl of questions here from the Instagram page, and each question is based off who is or who whatever, how, what, and when. So without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out JLab merchandise. Check out CJ Liberty Music. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the channel, even though I said that already. And let's get into it. My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all. The morning rain clouds up my way.
Take Maurice for ransom.
I can't see it all. Alright. Shit this up. Alright, first question. Who are three people you wish you could spend more time with in person? Well, I guess I would say my cousin Josie. He's one of them. Faith, my friend Faith, Hidasa, and Sydney's cousin. And if I had to pick one more person, if I pick one more, I'd pick Sydney, because I don't get to see my fangirl that often. So yeah, I go with Josie, Faith, and Sydney. Yeah, I go with those three. Next question. That is a how. How did you make yourself known in Pleasantville? That is a good question. Well, I had friends, not a lot of friends, but I had friends who were popular in school because, as some of you don't know, I went to school in Pleasantville, San Fernando East Secondary School, which is, in Pleasantville. Graduation was a few weeks ago, so I am no longer a secondary school student. But as for the how I made myself known part, well, eventually the friends I had, which would have been Brandon, Emerson, Cassia, and Shauna, eventually I was introduced to more people, which would be Dominique, Naomi, Josiah, and Caleb. And then, I started making music. I wrote a song about Dominique, which was uploaded on a previous channel, which I no longer use because now I have my main channel. I have this main channel. And then later on in the year, I released Emotions, which was kind of the starting, I guess you could say that song was the starting point for the CJ Liberty brand. And within a few more months, I became known around the school. And then by the time I was in Form 4, I was known not only in that school, but in the school senior sec, which is Pleasantville Secondary. I was well known in that school as well. And that kind of spread around to most of Pleasantville. So, yeah, I would say that is how I made myself known. Started off with music, and it's still going. So, yeah. Next question. What? We are the what now? What is the first song you wrote and who was it for? Okay, well, like I was saying before, the first song I wrote was called "Should I Tell Her," and it was for Morgan. Dominique Morgan. She was that was oh god, yeah, that was the first song I ever wrote, and Dominique was the first girl I ever wrote a song for. And I would say that, and I say this a lot, I even, and I don't really say this around a lot of my friends. The only person I've said this to was Caleb, and he knows this. If it wasn't for Dominique, if I didn't write that song, and if she hadn't inspired me to write that song, this right here wouldn't have been possible. I, well, I would still. I can't say I wouldn't be here right now. I would still be here. I wouldn't. I would not have become CJ Liberty if it wasn't for I have Dominique Morgan to thank for the person I've become today. I have her to thank for that. Alright, back to the how. How do your parents feel about your songs? Well, I think my mother has one or two songs downloaded on her phone. Speaking of which, I have a song coming out for my mother on her birthday, which is October 1st. It's called Better Than the Rest. Um, it was originally called A Mother's Love, but I was supposed to release it on Mother's Day, but I didn't end up releasing it. I didn't end up releasing it because well, it wasn't completely finished as yet. It I'm still working it. I'm still working on it right now, currently. But yeah, I changed the name of it to better suit her and what she means, how much she means to me. So as for my father, and I quote all of my songs that on YouTube, he has listened to all of them, every single one. Every single one of my songs, he's already heard them, listened to them. So there's the answer to that. Okay, another how. How many girls have you kissed? Um, okay. Now that one. How many girls have I kissed? Mm. That's actually a good question. Let's see. Janaya, um, Janaya, then Naima, Denisha, Chrissy, Amani, Selma, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Damn, I've kissed all of the girls. As far as I know, 6. I've kissed 6 girls, at least. I think it might be more than that, but so far is only 6 that I can remember. Is only 6 that I can remember so far. So if I remember the rest, I'll put that in another video. But as far as I'm concerned, I've only kissed 6 girls. That's all I can remember so far. Okay. Next question. Not a how. Not a how. How can you be so nice to someone even after they did you wrong? Who says I'm nice to them? But to answer that question, actually, I can't answer that question. But God said, love your enemies. Not that I have enemies, but I would say if somebody did me wrong, who says I'd be nice to them after that? I mean, yeah, I would try, and no, I'm doing it wrong. I would try to put emphasis on that due to the air quotes. I will try to be respectful to them, but I will not. I can't promise I'll be nice to them. I will make the effort, but I ain't gonna try too hard. Because you did me dirty, and you know damn well what you was doing. So, no, I ain't gonna be nice to you. Aside from your parents, who always has your back? Dwayne, Caleb, Sydney, Janae, Miguel, Jalen, Kara, Hadassah, Aliyah, Cadence. Those are 10 people I could call who has my back, aside from my parents. And that's just friends. If we're talking family, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my sisters, even my little brothers, as miserable as they are. My friends and my family have my back, even when my parents not dead. I know people who always have my back. What do you have to do? Oh wait, no. My bad. I read it wrong. I read it. Is a what question? So I read it wrong. I'm sorry. Whoever sent this, I'm sorry. I read in your question wrong. What do I have to do to get you to write a song about me? Inspire me. Seriously, I don't just write songs about anybody. You had to inspire me in order for me to do it. You see these ladies? See these girls right here? They are an inspiration. They are extraordinary. They are incredible human beings. And that is why I write songs about them. I write songs about incredible, inspirational, extraordinary people. So, you want a song from me? Then inspire me. Inspire me like these girls do every day. Otherwise, you ain't getting one. Sorry, honey. Next question is a who? Who do you have your eye on? I mean, right now I have my eye on the camera. But at the given moment, yeah, I don't have my eye on nobody right now. Next one. Ooh, is that when? Finally got when. When did you have your first kiss? Skip. All right. Is that who? Who would you have asked to prom? I think it. Who would you have asked to prom if they were available? Cadence. Not hard pick. I mean, and yeah, and Cadence was my first pick when it came to looking for a prom date. She was my first pick, and she said she wasn't going. So then I went to Denisha. She wasn't going. So then I asked Elena, and you get the point. And my point being, I still had fun at prom. I mean, look at those. That is a good time. I had a great time. Yeah. Anyway, which eventually led to, yeah, you get the idea. All right. Another what? Another what question? Okay, what are three things you look for in a girl? Arms, legs, and a head. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Three things I look for in a girl romantically, I would say. Um, well, firstly, I like a girl that pays attention to detail. Like, say, if there's something new about me, even the smallest details. Like, say, if I get a small piercing or do something with my hair. Like, I like a girl that pays attention to detail, even if it's the smallest details. Is the fact that you're paying attention to me. I like a girl that takes an interest. So that's that's the first thing. The second thing, second thing, I like a girl who has a good, who has self-esteem. I like a girl who loves herself without me having to tell her to love herself. Like, but not like up here. not like egotistical, not like you love yourself that much, because there's loving yourself and then there's being obsessed with yourself. And believe me, I know that. I know how that be. And the third thing I would say, I like a girl who's respectful. Well, not only respectful, but not only respectful to elders, but respectful in general. That so yeah, that's three things I look for in a girl. If I had to pick a fourth thing, I would say a girl who has a good connection with God. That that is very important to me, because see, I wouldn't mind going to church everyone. See, I like church. I don't go very often, but I do like church. I love praising God. He gave my life. He gave me my family, my friends. I'm grateful for everything I have. That's because of him. And I like a girl who has a good connection with God, prays, who does go to church, who does read the Bible, etc. All that. That's what I just look for in a girl. I know it didn't say pick four things, but I pick four things. I can do that. Alright, what we got? Is a how. How do you live with yourself? Let's see. I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, and I decide to live with myself. How many subscribers do you have right now? 552. We getting there. We almost at 600. Almost at 600. So please, if anybody is watching this video, please like and subscribe. Trying to get to 600 and higher. Really want to get to higher. But if I could get to 600, that would really mean a lot. What is your biggest red flag? Somebody who doesn't somebody who doesn't respect their parents. I would say that's my biggest red flag. Now, I know parents could be a lot sometimes, but still they just want your best interest at heart, and you don't have to disrespect them. You could disagree with them, but the disrespect is not necessary. And I don't like people that disrespect their parents, especially after everything they do for you. And if you wrong, especially if you wrong in the situation and you still want to argue, then yeah, that's a red flag for me as well. What is your biggest regret? As that's a good question. um, I, huh, I, I really don't say I have. I don't like to call mistakes regrets. I would call them mistakes, but I wouldn't think of it as that big to call it a regret. But if I had to say what my biggest regret is, I would say I don't I don't cherish I don't I don't value or treasure the time I have with somebody. I don't treasure time enough. before I don't treasure enough time with somebody before I lose them. Because when I have somebody and I have a short amount of time with them and then I lose them and I look back on the little that I did and I didn't really do all that much, I would say I just regret not spending enough time with that person before they gone. I don't just mean like when a person dies, but when a person leaves my life, like when they no longer are here, like when they just well gone and not coming back. I would say that is one of my biggest regrets. There's another who. Who is someone that can put a smile on your face just by sitting next to you? Kara. Always Kara. Who you have a crush on? Yeah,